Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The fashion industry has become such a tease. Let me explain. I'm talking about, for example, the perfect recent example would be what's happening at Dior. Pretty quick here, we're going to be seeing the first menswear show by Jonathan Anderson for Dior. But in the interim, while we wait for that, we've been seeing these posts, one of Lee Radziwiłł and one of Jean-Michel Basquiat, and then also images of some tote bags with text across the top of famous books, very similar to what we've seen in the past from Olympia Latin, in my opinion. Another great example is what happened with Bottega Veneta for the 50th anniversary of the Intricato. Now, we haven't had a full show from Louise Trotter yet for Bottega Veneta, but we saw, in the campaign, we saw Julianne Moore and we saw Vicky Krieps, and we saw other artists talking about the importance of craft and the importance of touch and the importance of hand. Then we had this nice soft launch of both of those actresses wearing some of Louise's designs at Cannes, some of her first one-of-a-kind designs. So that was a nice little mixing and overarching connection between the start of Louise's narrative and the history of the brand. But this is this is nothing new. We've seen this in the past. We've seen when Sabato went to Gucci, had a real palette cleanser through the use of color. His Encore Red will now be associated with Sabato's era for the end of time. Another technique that's been used often is wiping the slate clean of all social media so that there's no history, as it were, for the past designer. Or in the case of someone like Hedi Slimane, where you take away the accent when you come on for Celine. So it'll be interesting to see how this teasing is going to shape up and how other brands are going to continue to tease this as their designers ramp up their first shows as the lead of these so many fashion houses. So this is going to be quite an interesting season, but right now it's a bit of a tease.